Hi folks, morning world. It's Friday the 4th of April and it's the day where all the planets line up. So I thought I'd do something a bit different. The world's going bonkers out there. Everyone's making a song and dance of everything. Everyone's getting wound up, stressed out. It's all getting a little bit silly, really. It's easy for me to say I've got the benefit of age. I'm getting to be an old man. I've seen cycles, I've seen things rise and flow and ebb and fall back. I've seen presidents and prime ministers come and go. But it does seem that this is crazier than I've ever seen. So I thought, let's do something different. Uranus is the linchpin that's holding all the aspects together at the moment. At least today, tomorrow. But Uranus, or Uranus, as he was in the ancient Greek, is a sky god. And Uranus is a planet that deals essentially with the element of air. And Saturn, well, in Roman mythology, Saturn was the god of agriculture. And Saturn rules Capricorn. So Saturn deals a lot with Earth. Now, Saturn and Uranus don't normally get on, and when you put Earth and air together, you normally get a sandstorm. And when you add Mars into the equation, because Mars is trining Saturn and sextiling Uranus today, Mars rules Aries, and Mars is red, so Mars deals with fire. Now, when you get fire and air together, it's normally a bit of a blistering heat. And when you get fire and earth together, you get lava. So with the combination of fire and air and earth, all the planets that associate them dancing off of each other today, I just thought, well, a nice combination. Where's the water? So excuse the shaky photography. I hope you can see that. Where water springs out of the ground, where water completes its journey from the underground into the overworld. It's clean, it's fresh, it's pure. I drink from springs as regularly as I can. Water of life, sustain me. It's a little ritual I do. Normally I would offer water to the four directions. And I always ask for the water of life to sustain me whenever I drink it, where it springs from the ground. Because it's a fresh force. It's alive, it's vibrant. You can hear it in the background. And it's constant. And when you realise how relatively new we are to this planet, it's only 1 million or so years ago that a hominid got off its knuckles on the East African plain and looked up at the skies and went, wow, what's that? And then in the next 50,000 to 100,000 years, they would have seen lights in the sky moving against the backdrop of the stars. And although they wouldn't have realised that they were planets, they would have thought, oh, there's a story there, let's make a myth. And this is how astrology started. But this planet is at least 6 billion years old. And yeah, for the first couple of billion years it was calming down, and the first mosses grew, and the first vertebrates didn't happen till about 3 billion years ago, and the first grasses didn't happen till about 2 billion years ago. But you know, humanity's a relatively recent development here. And we treat this planet as if it's ours to pillage, to abuse. But long, long, long before humans were here, the fresh air was circulating, the earth was fertile, the sun still shone, and the springs still gave forth beautiful, refreshing, life-giving water. Fire, earth, air, and water. Now I know that various different cultures will introduce ether, various different elements, but in Western astrology it's the 4 elements: fire, earth, air, water, and the 3 signs of a zodiac that go with each element. But you can't have one without the other. Water dampens down the fire. Water and air create mist. Water and earth create mud. Water erodes everything. Without water, we wouldn't be here. So sometimes it is really, really important to just go to your local park, unless you're fortunate enough to live in the countryside, and just go and sit on the earth, put your face to the sun, breathe in the air, drink some clean water, and push your fingers into the ground and ground yourself. Because without these elements, we wouldn't stand a chance. And it makes you realise that actually, all that's going on in the world is transient. To a certain extent, we as a species are transient. Who knows if we'll be here in 500 or 1,000 years' time? Who knows what will happen? If my assumptions are right, within a few hundred years, we're going to have made some type of transmutation into some type of higher form of consciousness, where it's quite feasible that our bodies won't be as they are now. I'm getting cosmic here, so I'm going to stop on this one. But look, from where I was just now, water springs out of the ground. Other people might call it magic. It's not magic. It's pure life force, pure life energy. Without it, we wouldn't be here. So I guess what I'm saying to everyone, particularly those people who think that by establishing some type of rule of order on the world, that they control the place. Remember, your tenure here is brief. You don't run the planet, you're a temporary resident. And without the elements, we would truly be lost. Because from just a little dribble coming out from underneath a rock, you get a stream. And where I am, there's so many springs. I saw a fantastic system yesterday where water coming down a hill was channeled into a pipe, which then landed onto a pump lever, and that pump, the water landing on top of the pump, operated the pump, which in turn pushed 30% of the water back up into a holding tank and into the taps where I drink my water from where I'm staying. So the water coming down pushes 30% of the water back up. If it was 100%, we'd have perpetual motion. I'm biased, I'm a water sign. But without water, where would we be? Fire, earth, air, water, the magic of the land. Never take it for granted. Go and put your fingers in the ground. It's a soothing balm to the temporary madness of the world. Catch you later. Bye.